Welcome to L5 Star FC's RB Leipzig against Liverpool Champions League reaction video. I'm delighted to announce I'm joined by Alex and by Salah to go over the game. Obviously, a much better result. Obviously, back to winning ways. What we needed. How were you feeling after the result, Alex? And what are your overall thoughts on the game?
I was feeling pretty good. We capitalized on two mistakes that the Leipzig defenders made, and that's where we won. That's where we won the game 2-0. But it was overall a great performance. We deserve the win either way. They scared me with a couple of chances they had in the beginning. They hit the post, as well as and even at the end. At the end, I forgot which player it was, but they were on and they missed one-on-one with the keeper.
Chan, I think it was, wasn't it? It was that guy from Salzburg we faced last season. But yeah, they were unlucky not to score. But thank goodness we kept the clean sheet, giving ourselves a much bigger advantage going into the next leg. But we do know that RB Leipzig can score a few goals out of nowhere, so it's not over yet. It's half the job done. We've got to get it done as soon as possible. What are your thoughts on the game, Salah?
Great performance. My preview, my preview was absolutely wrong about Trent. Trent, great, absolutely boss. I was worried when I saw the lineup, looking at Hendo's, because Hendo was centre back again. Hendo was never going to track the Trent, never going to track Trent when he's going forward. But wow, Trent dealt beautifully, because when Nagelsmann had the opportunity, they went from the right, switch to play, had Sabitzer, Angelino, and Haidara. Trent attacked Trent. And wow, Trent did beautiful there. And I have to say, Ozan Kabak, what a player. He played great yesterday.
Talking about Trent. He had 71% passing. I'm getting these stats from LFC data on Instagram. 47 out of 66 passes completed. He created 4 chances the game. The most out of any player. 86 touches, the second out of anybody on the Liverpool team. He completed 1 out of 1 dribble, 1 out of 1 tackle. He was not dribble passed, and of course they kept a clean sheet. So Trent had an overall great performance. But
yeah, that's the thing, is because what I thought is Klopp would have gave Trent that. Klopp would have not given Trent the freedom and told him to stay back, stop the attacks. And he would have said that you would have had chances to go forward, make sure they count. And he made them count. He made great passes. He made one great pass for the Salah chance. He was great. He was great yesterday. Also, Curtis Jones was another standout performer. He's a young player and he's delivering in the big games at Tottenham, City, and now Leipzig yesterday. So I think overall it was a great performance yesterday.
Curtis is good defensively as well. He had 3 interceptions, 1 clearance, and 1 out of 1 tackle as well. He was great, 81% passing. Curtis, he's not only the future of this football club, he's a present. I feel like now at this point, just boss in the field.
He's very good. He holds up the play well, and he allows the fullbacks to get up the pitch. He's a talent that not many people are talking about as much as they're hyping up Phil Foden. I know Phil Foden's obviously at this moment in time probably a step ahead, but Curtis Jones isn't far away, and that can't be overlooked because he isn't far away. Obviously, we punished their 2 mistakes with the goals from Salah and Mane. You could criticise RB Leipzig and say they were a bit clumsy to concede the 2 goals. They were clumsy, but if you've got to get the job done, you've got to get the job done. And I felt like we did that yesterday. Kabak was absolutely solid, like Alex was saying. He was, and you, Salah, he was a rock at the back. And hopefully he can kick on from that blunder against Leicester, and he can kick on, make sure he gets a few good appearances under his name, and he'll be a good Liverpool player, and hopefully one that we keep in the future. Obviously, Alisson kept a clean sheet, his 50th clean sheet in all competitions. Obviously, Curtis Jones had an unbelievable performance last night. Does he start against Everton on the weekend? Salah, we'll get to you on this one. Does he start?
100%. You don't take out a player who's been consistently performing for the last 3 games. City was good. I think Leicester he was okay at Leicester. And then again, look, putting that performance against Leipzig, it would be pretty stupid to drop him against Everton. So, yeah, I think he has to start against Everton. He deserves to. He's a great player, man. We've got one for the future in Curtis Jones.
100%. Alex, what about you? Do you think he starts?
Everton, this is going to be a huge game. It's just a must win. All of these games that when we were in the dip in form, all of the games were a must-win, and we let the title slip. But we've got to keep our top 4 ambitions alive, and we got to win this game. So whatever. Curtis Jones, personally, I would not start him because Henderson, hopefully Fabinho's fit, and then Kabak and Fabinho could be in the back. So I put Henderson, Thiago, and Gini Wijnaldum to start against Everton in the midfield. So I would not start Curtis Jones, in my personal opinion, hoping that Fabinho will be fit and back to play. And Thiago, a lot of people are saying Thiago hasn't been performing and that we should drop him or whatever. But against Leipzig, he was phenomenal. 93% passing, 37 out of 40 passes he completed, 2 out of 2 dribbles. He won 2 aerial duos. He won 2 tackles, 2 clearances, and 1 interception. Thiago, he'll keep this up, I feel like, as well. It's not just going to be one great game. He's going to keep this up and finally going to start getting his groove into this Liverpool team.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think people have been using Thiago as a bit of a scapegoat of recent. I think obviously he hasn't been as good as we would have liked him defensively. Obviously his attacking attributes, his passing's there. We all know that. His defending wasn't as good not yesterday against Leicester, but he was much better. He was much more solid. And it's the Thiago Alcantara we want to see him. We want to see him get a good run of games, and we want to make sure he starts that off and keeps that going really against Everton on Saturday. But I think Curtis will start. For me, like what Salah said, you cannot drop someone who's been probably the most consistent player in our dip of form. He has been sensational, and the big players turn up for the big games. He turned up against Man City. He doesn't need any nurturing anymore. He's a Liverpool player. We need to start playing him because he is someone that can turn the game on his head. And then maybe I'm not sure if we start Thiago in the Everton game. I'm not too sure. It depends on whether Fabinho's back. If Fabinho's back, I expect Henderson to move into the midfield. And maybe Thiago comes on as an impact sub, change the game if it's not going great, or see the game out if we're winning by a goal maybe, or we need to get the second goal. But we need to beat Everton, not just for our top 4 ambitions, but for the bragging rights, just getting one over our rivals. And they've been hyping up. They hyped up about the last one. Obviously we had the Van Dijk leg snap. We had the Henderson disallowed goal. It was just heartbreaks. We've got to get our revenge against Everton this Saturday, which I think with that performance in mind, and Everton playing Manchester City tonight, I think the Reds are favourites for this one, 100%. But we'll get on to the player ratings. We'll start with Alisson, guys. Alex, what was your player ratings for Alisson? What would you give him out of 10?
I would give him a 7. He didn't have too much to deal with, but he made a couple of decent saves. Not much to be said there.
Yeah, well, in my video on my YouTube channel, Crop Talk TV, I give him a 6 purely because I thought, as well as he did keep a clean sheet. However, you could argue that a few of his passes were slightly shaky, and they did get me a few times because he would just leather it across the floor and it'd stay in our half, but it'd be on like the halfway line and it'd go to one of their players. Do you agree, Salah? And I give him a 6 out of 10, but I'll go with you, Alex, and I'll give him a 7. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He did get a clean sheet, and he did make some good saves. So I'll give him a 7. What's your rating, Salah, for Alisson Becker?
I give him an 8. I think he was fantastic. Kept the clean sheet. The first 2 minutes, the save where he just tipped onto the post with his fingertips. I thought that goes in, the game's changed. They saved back.
100%.
So that save was absolutely mesmerizing. So I'll give him an 8. He didn't do nothing wrong, made that fantastic save. When he was called upon, he delivered. So yeah, I just think it's an 8.
Yeah, should we compromise and go for a 7.5? I think I'll give him a 7.5 with compromise. But we'll go for Trent now. Obviously, one of the standout performers of last night. Obviously, Angelino was getting into little pockets of space, which I'm sure Klopp will sort out for the return leg. But I think it was a much more solid performance from Trent, and one which we were worrying going into the game. But I'll give him an 8 out of 10 for Trent.
I would give him 8 as well. I would give him 8 as well. Maybe not amazing defensively, but it says here that he wasn't dribbled past, but he created 4 chances as a right back, 71% passing. I would give him 8 as well. Excellent.
Yeah, what about you, Salah?
10.
10.
He was
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
fair enough. That's fair
Yes, to
enough.
have a
He
10.
he
Yes,
did
to
do
have a
very
10.
well. Yeah.
He
Yeah. Okay.
did
Well,
great. And the people saying, especially me, a lot of people saying Angelino was gonna spin him around. Wow, he dealt with Angelino, and he maybe got 3 crosses in, but other than that, I couldn't see Angelino the whole game. So I'm giving him a 10. He was great, fantastic.
How
yeah.
about
Okay.
Ozan
Well,
Kabak? I think I
yeah.
would give Kabak, I would give him solid 8 or 9. Just phenomenal in the back.
Who's this
84%
Kabak?
passing. 84% passing. 43 out of 51 passes completed. He took 67 touches as a center back. It's great. It's what we've been missing with Virgil. He completed 1 dribble as a center back. He only won 1 out of 2 aerial duels, but he played phenomenal in my opinion. 4 out of 4 tackles, 2 clearances, and 3 interceptions, and a clean sheet on his Champions League debut for the Reds. So solid, 8 or 9.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8. 8 out of 10. I'll give him. Salah, where you going?
I give him an 8. I would have.
8 out of 10.
I'm leaning towards a 7, is because he did make a few rash challenges, but I think
Yeah.
8's a fair rating.
8's a fair rating. Yeah, we'll go to Henderson, his centre back partner for this one. I'll go for an 8. I think he dealt with him very well. He was a leader at the back, as he always is. Give him an 8 out of 10. Clean sheet, Champions League away performance, perfect result. What are you going for, Salah? We'll start with you.
I'll give him a 7. 7.
7.
Because
Yeah, it's fair.
I think near the end of the first half, I think he letting Kunku run behind him. They had the chance, and near the end of the game, he made Hwagi Chan. He didn't check his run, so I think it was good overall, but it's just those 2 moments where he should have done better. But I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, what about you, Alex?
Yeah, that I'll give him a 7 as well. I mean, he's got to be in the midfield in my opinion. They get easily in behind, and Henderson, I feel like he's great. He's a great placeholder at center back, but it's just a weakness. I feel like that every game, not just against Leipzig, but against other teams, you've seen everyone get in behind from Henderson's side, and he's fit to play center mid and nowhere else in my opinion. He's got to get back in that midfield ASAP.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but we'll start with we'll carry on. Andy Robertson, Andy Roberto Carlos, by the way. I'll go for a 8 out of 10. I thought he was very much better from Andy Robertson. He didn't look as tired. He looked fresh going up the pitch. He looked fresh at the back, just doing little flicks, cheeky flicks. Nearly got a goal for himself, chipping the goalkeeper. So I'll go an 8 out of 10. What are you going, Salah?
8. Phenomenal. But great. Much improved from Leicester. Always tried making, maybe his crosses weren't as fantastic, but he was defending well, trying to make things happen. So you get an 8.
Yeah, what about you, Alex? What are you going for Andy Robertson?
I'm giving him 7.5. Played phenomenal as usual for Andy Robertson. Making runs up and down the pitch, recovering balls, everything, but just basic 7.5 in my opinion. Nothing special from him last night.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go for the midfield. We'll start. We'll do the midfield as a package just because Alex is going to get somewhere. So we'll go Gini Wijnaldum. What are we going for? Just one number. What are we going for?
6.
6. I'm going for 6 as well. What
Average wasn't that good. Wasn't that good.
7. You guys are being a little harsh on him. Okay, I'll say 7.
Yeah, I just felt like he was a bit. I think he was some of his work. He was doing well. He was working the swivel challenge, which he's really well known for. But for me, I just felt like he was a bit quiet in the periods of the game. But I'll give him a 6. We'll go 6.5 just to go with Alex's point of view as well. So Curtis Jones, I'm going
10.
for 10. Yeah,
10.
we'll go for a 10. I think he was phenomenal. What are you going for, Alex?
I'm going for a 9, just because I think a 10 is made for people who completely win the games and stuff. I don't think anyone here deserves a 10 tonight. I mean, last night, sorry. But Yeah, I'd give him a 9. Phenomenal in the midfield. Absolutely bossed it.
Yeah, I'll go for. All right, we'll go for 9.5. Thiago Alcantara, I'll go for 8.5. I think he's much better than before. Still got to keep the consistency up, but I think he's much better. What are you going for, Salah?
8. He was good.
Yeah.
Good
What are you going
defending.
for?
Yeah.
I'll go for 8.5 as well. Played great.
Yeah, okay, cool. We can all agree on that. Front three, I thought Mane was worthy. I'll say all my front three ratings and then we'll work around. I think Mane was worthy of I think Mane 8.5, Salah 8, and Firmino 6. I thought Firmino obviously popped up with a goal which was out, which I didn't think was out, but we'd still won the game, which is always a positive thing. But they're my ratings: 8.5 for Mane, 8 for Salah, and 6.5 for Firmino. What are yours, Alex, for the front three?
Mane 8.5 as well. He had 4 shots and a goal. Brilliant. Probably our best attacker, I feel like. Even though Salah has been in amazing form, I still feel like Mane is the most influential player in our front three. Roberto Firmino, that's a tricky one. I mean, he was doing his role. That's what his role was, is not to get too much involved in the goals and stuff. So I'd give him a 7, and Salah, I'd give him and 7.5.
Yeah, fair enough. What are you going for, Salah?
Mane gets an 8. It was good. Kept Mukele under pressure. Always trying to attack him. Firmino gets a 7.5. Firmino had the most underrated performance in that team because you see what he was doing. He was always dragging Upamecano out of position to get spaces in behind. Always causing Upamecano to make mistakes. Firmino gets a 7.5. Firmino was also good, and Salah gets a 10. Salah gets a 9. Salah was good. He made good passes, was clinical, so I think Salah gets a 9.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And that is it for the Leipzig-Liverpool Champions League reaction vid. I'm delighted to be accompanied with Alex and Salah. Thank you, boys, for joining. We'll be back with a Everton preview tomorrow on the channel, but go and hit the like, subscribe, and turn the post notifications on for the channel as well. Let's get to 300 subs and let's get 30 likes on this video.